You are Locked On Nuggets POSTCAST, powered by Mile High Sports, part of Locked On Sports Denver on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Nuggets Nation, and welcome on into your Locked On Nuggets POSTCAST. I am your host, Aniello Piro. The POSTCAST is back, folks. I was sick for like a week, and then this whole last week I was in New Orleans for Radio Row, getting ready for the big game, Super Bowl 59, I want to say. I know it's LIX, between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. But we are back, excited to be back here on your Locked On Nuggets POSTCAST. Hope everyone is doing well out there. And guys, tonight's episode of your Locked On Nuggets POSTCAST is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. More from our friends over at FanDuel in just a little bit. But man, the Nuggets, they are streaking, folks. 6 wins in a row, the most recent win being tonight on this Saturday, February the 8th, as they take down the Phoenix Suns. Your final score here, 122-105. Denver improves to 34-19 on the season. Phoenix falls to 500 now, 26-26. And we'll talk a little Phoenix Suns as well. I got some thoughts on them throughout the course of the program. But man, what a good game tonight across the board from Denver. I mean, you know, both teams were a bit shorthanded. This was the second night of a back-to-back as well for the Phoenix Suns. So that's always something to consider when it comes to kind of grading the overall performance of a team and whatnot. But we know that Phoenix has their own problems. But Denver, as I mentioned, a bit shorthanded here tonight. No Aaron Gordon didn't play, No Russell Westbrook and no Michael Porter Jr. tonight for Denver. So the starting five is as follows: Nikola Jokic at the 5, Aaron Gordon at the 4, and they run 3 guards out there with Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, and Julian Strawther. And Strawther, you know, his defense kind of is what it is at this point, right? But he came on strong as of late there, finishes with 18 points. And that's really my takeaway from a game like tonight, where you're going to have opportunities for guys like, no Peyton Watson as well, who's going to be out for at least the next few weeks with an injury as well. So that means there's opportunities for some of these other guys. Zeke Naji with some extended run tonight, 21 minutes. Julian Strawther actually led the team in minutes played tonight with 39. Everybody played at least in some capacity tonight for the Denver Nuggets, with the exception of Dario Saric, which is, if you've been watching these games and following this team throughout the course of the season, that's nothing new. But nice extended run out there for Julian Strawther. Thought, he was good in moments with those 18 points, a +9, the box plus minus. Everybody was rebounding tonight for Denver, which is what you like to see. First half was a little bit shaky. Phoenix was running it up on the offensive rebounds, but they were also missing some threes, and Denver just did a good job tonight across the board in the shooting department, shooting just under 50% from the field. Denver 45 for 92. That's good for 48.9%. They were also 16 of 35 from three-point land, good for just under 46%. So Denver did their job, whereas Phoenix, on the other hand, without a couple of their big stars in Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant, really were unable to get much momentum going tonight on offense. They shot below 40%, both from three-point land and from the field. Phoenix tonight, 38 for 98 from the field. That's good for 38.8% and 17 for 50. So they were chucking them up, almost doubled up Denver in three-point attempts. They were at their 50, but only 17 of those three-point shots went in for Phoenix here tonight, and that's how you get to your 122 to 105 final score here. So, a lot to like from Denver, specifically on this win streak right now, right? The games that I missed, or when I was in New Orleans for Radio Row, were the 2 games against New Orleans, interestingly enough, and then they take care of business against Orlando as well on Friday night. So, or that was Thursday night, I want to say. Sorry, my days are I'm still kind of getting back into the swing of things, folks. But tonight, man, they do a good job of kind of just coming out from the gate and, just kind of running away with this game. Phoenix only had one lead at one point in this game. It was for 3 points. So, they didn't really have anything working for them. Denver obviously finishes with a 23-point lead. Was their largest lead in the game here tonight as they finished 122 to 105, your final score here. But, another thing I talked about it, we're here live at number 38. And guys, if you have not come on down to number 38 in Rhino, if you're a local, I don't know what else to tell you. I was here with my guy, Danny Bailey, and Zach Mikosh of Denver Stiffs. And we were watching the game together, and Zach and I were up here doing the pregame show together as well. And when it came down to kind of talking about our keys to victory, there's two commonalities that I feel like with the Denver Nuggets that, these games kind of seeing how things shake out, right? It's buying in on defense, and it's the ability to knock down the three-point shot. We know that Denver can hit the three. They just don't take, they took 35 tonight to Phoenix's 50, right? So Denver does not just take a high volume amount of three-point shots, but when they hit them at a high clip, as they did tonight, just under 50%, that's going to do it's going to work wonders for them in kind of opening up the overall flow of this offense and kind of taking this team up to another level. And again, they did this tonight without a guy in Michael Porter Jr. that's been scorching hot, both from the field, the rebounding department, the scoring, everything with Michael Porter Jr. right now is coming up aces. So the fact that Denver was able to kind of be dialed in offensively, the manner in which they were, is good to see. And, Zach and I were talking about it on the pregame show as well. Go check out all of his work at denverstiffs.com. We're kind of in that middle portion of the season where you can maybe let some games get away from you, right? Or maybe the mental focus isn't there. Like here we are now post-trade deadline. We'll talk a little deadline as well here at the end of the show as Denver stands pat and doesn't make any moves. But it's really about kind of fighting through the mental aspect of the game here tonight. And I was not surprised, but I was happy to see Denver dialed in pretty much from the moment that this game started. It never really felt like this game was getting out of hand. Phoenix goes on a run. It is what it is. But, Denver comes out and outscores Phoenix in every single quarter tonight with the exception of the fourth, where they were knotted up at 24-24 apiece. And Denver did not have a good shooting performance out of the gate to start the fourth quarter. But again, Jokic being able to, sit down at the bench there with a few minutes left to play. Jamal Murray does his thing as well. But a pretty stress-free victory, I would say, all things considered tonight. For the Denver Nuggets. They got out to a great start, put up 37 points there in the first quarter. Defense was, you want to see them be a little bit better on defense in the first, but they still win that quarter 37-32. Then they come back and score 26 to Phoenix's 23 there in the second quarter. And then, that third quarter has been a problem for the Denver Nuggets, in the Jokic, Michael Malone era. But tonight they do a good job of stomping on Phoenix there in that third quarter, 35-26. They outscore them there. Like I said, Phoenix was doing a good job in the first half of fighting for some offensive rebounds. This game could have been a lot closer had Phoenix managed to knock down a couple of those, knock down a couple of those 3-point shots they got and facilitated off of their own offensive rebounds. That continues to be one of Michael Malone's big things that he preaches to this team is they've got to be better at offensive rebounding. Long shots mean long rebounds, and too often it seems like you've got Denver Nuggets players that are all kind of clogged up in the middle of the paint, kind of hanging out, waiting for them to kind of drop down like raindrops when they're coming off the back iron and flying back closer to the free throw line. And that's allowed for teams to have second possession, second chance opportunities. And thankfully for tonight, at least in the first half, they did not come back to bite Denver in the rear end too much as they get a pretty stress-free victory, 122-105 here tonight for sure. So second segment, let's talk about some of the role players for sure. We'll get into Julian Strawther. We'll get into Jalen Pickett, a guy that, I don't want to say that I'm high on, but a guy that last year was borderline unplayable. Does Jalen Pickett, can he play that Monte Morris type of role like we saw a few years ago from Monte? Like, is Jalen Pickett, does he have a serviceable role potentially on this team? I think he just might. So we'll talk a little Jalen Pickett. We'll talk a little Julian Strawther, Christian Brown, some of the role players, as I think they're kind of the, they deserve some love here tonight. Obviously, you have Jokic and Murray doing their thing, 25-plus points for each of them. Jamal with 30, Jokic with 26, a Sombor double for Jokic as he's 1 assist shy of yet another triple-double. So kind of par from the course of what you come to expect from Nikola Jokic, to be honest with you, which is insane to say within spitting distance of a triple-double each and every game. But that is the expectation right now with Nikola Jokic. And Jamal Murray, man, continues to play high-quality basketball, and that has made a big difference for this team so far in the 2025 portion of the NBA schedule. So all in all, it is a good, clean victory tonight for the Denver Nuggets as they get to a season-high 6 consecutive wins in a row. You absolutely love to see it. Denver, like I said, at 34-19 on the year. That's their 17th road victory of the season as well. They're now 17-11 away from Ball Arena, and the Phoenix Suns fall to 500 at 26-26. All right, guys, let me hit my first break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about some of those role players on this Denver Nuggets team, in particular, how they perform for the boys tonight. If you guys got any thoughts, comments, questions, whatever it might be, go ahead and drop those in the comments section, and we'll go back and forth and have a good time here on your Locked On Nuggets postcast as the Denver Nuggets take down the Phoenix Suns on Saturday night, 122-105, your final score. All right, folks, we'll hit a quick break, come back, and do just that right here on your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Back in just a moment, folks. All right, you guys, let me tell you about our friends over at DoorDash, because NBA fans, get ready. They swoosh, you save thanks to Dash Pass. Every time a player drops 50 or more points in a game, you score a huge deal the next day. It's simple, guys. When a player scores 50 or more in a game during the 2024-2025 NBA regular season, Dash Pass members get 50% off an order for up to $10 off the next day from noon to midnight. Here are a few ways you could take advantage of this deal. The game day feast. After an epic 50-point performance, celebrate by ordering wings, pizza, or burgers from your favorite spot delivered straight to your door. Late night cravings. Whether you're staying up watching highlights or just need a midnight snack, use Dash Pass to grab something delicious while saving big. Lunch on the go. Need a quick and easy lunch the next day? With Dash Pass, you get your favorite meals with $0 delivery fees and reduced service fees. Plus, now you save even more with this exclusive NBA offer. And, of course, you can fuel your watch party. Planning to catch the next game? Order your go-to snacks and meals at a discount and get ready for more high-scoring action. Sign up for Dash Pass and be ready to save, folks. When any player scores 50 or more in a game, Dash Pass members get 50% off an order the next day, up to $10 off. Just use promo code NBA50 from noon to midnight after a 50-point game on eligible orders at participating merchants. Must have an active Dash Pass account. Terms, they do apply. Visit DoorDash to learn more. Be sure to check out our friends over at DoorDash. Maybe you don't want to go out and deal with all the chaos tomorrow with the big game and all the restaurants. Our friends over at DoorDash will have you covered, folks. Check them out and let them know that Locked On Nuggets sent you. They swoosh, you save with code NBA50. Join Dash Pass and score 50% off a 50-point game only at DoorDash. All right, you guys. Quick water break, little hydration break, and we're back. Rocking and rolling here on this Saturday night. Welcome on back into your Locked On Nuggets postcast. I'm your host, Aniello Piro. You guys can follow me on social media at Media by AP. And if you're watching live on YouTube, appreciate y'all as always. Do me a favor if you can. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button on your Locked On Sports Denver YouTube channel. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Denver tonight with a 122-105 dub over the Phoenix Suns. Now 34-19 on the year are the Denver Nuggets. Their 17th win away from Ball Arena comes in pretty convincing fashion over the Phoenix Suns, as Denver is now on a 6-game win streak. And we'll talk Jokic and Murray. Don't you worry. We'll talk plenty of Jokic and Murray. They had themselves a game. But with no Michael Porter Jr., no Russell Westbrook, Christian Brown, Julian Strawther, Peyton Watson, in my opinion, answered the call here tonight. Or Jalen Pickett, not Peyton Watson, as he's also out with an injury. Excuse me there. Christian Brown, 38 minutes played tonight, plus 19 in the box plus minus, finishes with 18 points, grabbing 7 rebounds and 6 assists. So a pretty full effort tonight from Christian Brown. Only 1 of 5 from 3, so you'd like to see him up the 3-point shooting, but you can live with that from Christian Brown. His defense has been good. He also had that sick finish. I think it was Zeke Naji. He threw up the alley-oop, and Brown mid-air, one hand, slam-a-jamma, taking care of business there. 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Christian Brown did his thing tonight for sure. And, he's a guy, it's funny, right? Because when I'm watching Christian Brown play like he did tonight, I'm like, this is a guy that is going to be a role player in this league for the next decade. Hopefully it's with Denver the entire time, but regardless where Christian Brown ends up in his NBA career, just the way that he plays and the strengths and the skills that he brings to the court every given night, he's still working through some of his, mistakes and whatnot. He's still a young player. But he's a guy, man, that the Nuggets absolutely got right. I mean, I'm not trying to, go down memory lane and talk about the championship season right now, but where Denver's been lacking at some points in this season, and look, Christian Brown has not been perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But tonight, man, in a game where you needed him to kind of step up with no Michael Porter Jr. and no Russell Westbrook, I think he did a good job of that in his 38 minutes tonight for sure. And then you got Julian Strawther. That was one of the things that I was talking about with Zach Mikosh on the pregame show here is how would Julian Strawther respond to getting some extended run, right? This is a guy that, and let me see if I can actually pull this up, because Calvin Booth, love him or hate him, he does not mince words. And let's see if I could find this. There was a good quote that he had. I'm seeing a quick little blurb of it. I want to see if I can find the full quote. I'm not seeing it off the top, but this little portion of the quote, I think, sums it up. This is from February the 6th, so just a couple of days ago in Calvin Booth's post-trade deadline meeting session with the media. He says, quote, I think Julian's had moments that are good, moments that are bad. I think defensively it's going to be a challenge for him in the playoffs right now. And that's 100% the truth. Like, it is going to be a bit of a struggle with just how Julian Strawther plays defense right now. I mean, he's getting blown past on some plays, not switching the right way, right? And defense is something that you hope you can coach, right? And that he gets better with more and more game action. But what he lacks on defense, he makes up with his offense tonight. And he puts up 18 points, took a high volume of 3-point shots, 4 of 10. So you like the 4 makes for sure. But he was also scrappy in and around the glass. 6 rebounds tonight for Julian Strawther. You like to see that. Had a steal as well. So, look, this is a guy in Strawther that did not play very much last year and is been in the rotation throughout the course of the season. But, has to, like he needs to almost be perfect in the rotation minutes that he's been getting. And I feel like a game like tonight, allowing a guy like Julian Strawther to play through his mistakes, you were rewarded with those 18 points tonight for sure. So, if Denver wants to seriously contend for a championship, obviously having Jamal Murray playing like Jamal Murray is going to help a ton. But who are going to be those rotation guys that are going to step up when Denver needs a big 3-point shot? Right? Like, Julian Strawther isn't going to be in the game when you need defensive stops, but he's going to have to play in spurts in the playoffs and these critical regular season games down the stretch. So if you can just get some consistency from Julian Strawther and upping the ante on defense a little bit, it's going to go a long way in helping the overall trajectory of this Denver Nuggets team. So shout out to Strawther tonight. And then how about Jalen Pickett, man? 17 minutes tonight for Pick. He was 2 of 3 from 3. Those were all. He only had 6 points, so both of them come from beyond the arc. Outside of that, missed 4 shots from the field. Another guy that he was a +10, the box plus minus, one of the only players off of the bench tonight, with the exception of Zeke Naji, that was a positive in the box plus minus, albeit everybody else pretty much played in garbage time. Or it looks like DeAndre Jordan was a +2 as well. But man, I don't want to say high hopes for Jalen Pickett, but he's just a guy that I don't really have a firm feel on, just because I feel like he hasn't played a lot. We've seen Jalen Pickett go down to the G League and do his thing and ball out as is Trey Alexander. So, if they can, much like Julian Strawther, be allowed to play through some of their mistakes, I mean, who's to say that Jalen Pickett can't develop into that Monte Morris type of backup guard role, which I guess is ideally what you want Julian Strawther to be as well. But I know Jalen Pickett's a little bit undersized too. Like that's a major kind of talking point with Jalen Pickett. But I liked what I saw to Pick tonight, man. I mean, if he can play like that every night in the opportunities that he gets, he's gonna earn more and more trust from Michael Malone. And I think Jalen Pickett's a high IQ player. I just think that there's moments in these games where he's not acclimated fully to the game speed of the NBA, that everything seems to be coming at him very quickly. But when you see Jalen Pickett, it hasn't been often, but you see him kind of get into that groove mentally, it works wonders in kind of opening himself up a little bit as a distributor, as a facilitator, with the ability to knock down the 3-point shot. So that's kind of my big takeaway from guys like Christian Brown, Julian Strawther, and Jalen Pickett tonight. I thought they made the most of their opportunities. Zeke Naji also got 21 minutes of run tonight, only 4 points. I think we all kind of understand what Zeke Naji is right now. Anything positive that they get from Zeke Naji, I think, is a win at this point. We'll see what happens with him. He's going to be on the roster. Obviously, they didn't trade him. Nobody wants that contract. He's untradeable right now. But, we got the comment here from my guy, Range Robe. He says 6 in a row. Chemistry keeps improving along with the defense 100%. And it starts and ends with defense. Like the three-point shooting would be nice to up the volume, but we kind of know where Denver's at with the three-point shooting. But the defense, that is something that can take them from middle-of-the-pack playoff contending team to a potential championship contending team in the Western Conference. So I absolutely agree with that. Nice little 6-game win streak here for Denver. So we'll see if they can keep it up. But the good times are rolling right now, and Denver gets the job done here tonight against the Phoenix Suns, 122-105. No Michael Porter Jr., no Russell Westbrook, no problem, as the Denver Nuggets win their 6th game in a row. All right, folks, let me hit my final break. When we come back, we'll get ready to put a bow on the show. If you guys got any thoughts, comments, questions, whatever it might be, go ahead and drop those in the comments section. We'll go back and forth and have some fun. We'll talk a little Nikola Jokic. We'll talk a little Jamal Murray. We'll take a look back on this win streak and take a look at what's coming up for the Denver Nuggets when we come back right here on your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Back in just a moment, folks. All right, welcome on back into your Locked On Nuggets postcast. I'm your host, Aniello Piro. Real quick, let me tell you about our friends over at FanDuel. When the game tips off, the NBA action is just getting started, and there's no better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, you can place live bets throughout the game, so even if you miss the opening tip-off or want to bet on a fourth quarter comeback, you can stay in the action. And if you're looking for a bigger payout, you can even combine your live bets into a same game parlay. I love using FanDuel's live betting feature because it keeps every moment of the game exciting, whether I'm backing my team for a late game rally or picking a player to hit a clutch three. I never feel like I missed my chance. Plus, the app is easy to use, and when you win, you get paid instantly. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. That's FanDuel.com for your shot at $150 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. And guys, I actually had the opportunity to catch up with one of the head marketing folks over at FanDuel on Radio Row. Go check out that interview over at Mile High Sports YouTube channel if you're interested in that. I'm an active FanDuel user. If you want to get some money down on these games and you're not using FanDuel, I don't know what to tell you other than you should sign up right now because you're going to get that $150 in bonus bets from our friends over at FanDuel. So check them out and let them know that Locked On Nuggets sent you. All right, welcome on back into your Locked On Nuggets postcast. I am your host, Aniello Piro. You guys can follow me on social media at Media by AP. And if you're watching live on YouTube, appreciate y'all. As always, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast on your Locked On Sports Denver YouTube channel. Denver tonight, 122-105. I meant to do this during the FanDuel read. Anyone got any thoughts on the big game tomorrow? Who you guys got? You got Chiefs, you got Eagles. I already got some money on the Chiefs myself. I think it's – look, I don't think Kansas City's losing the game. I know this isn't an NFL show, but it is Super Bowl Sunday. It's America's holiday tomorrow. So let me know how you're feeling out there. Eagles or Chiefs? Let me know. But we got another comment here from my guy, Range Robe. He says, I think the next two games are versus Portland. They aren't good, but have been streaking the last 3 weeks. Let's confirm that for you. I believe that you're correct. Let's see here. Yep, they've got Portland on the 10th. So that'll be on Monday. And then I believe, back-to-back home games against Portland on Monday and Wednesday. So, assuming, and not even just Portland, they're home against Charlotte as well on Thursday. So we got a back-to-back coming up this week. I mean, if all goes according to plan, this should be a 9-game win streak for Denver. It really should be. Before they welcome the Los Angeles Lakers to town on Saturday the 22nd, which, likely you would imagine that Luka Doncic will be playing in that game, which is such a crazy trade in and of itself. I still cannot believe that happened. But, Denver, man, they've done a really good job here. 137-134 over Philly, 107-104 over Charlotte, which is a bit sweaty, but then two nice victories over New Orleans, 125-113, 144-119. Michael Porter Jr. with 36 and 39 respectively. On Thursday against Orlando, 112-90. MPJ with another 30-piece. And then tonight, 122-105 with Jamal Murray putting up 30 points of his own. So you've got to be really happy with how Denver's playing right now. A season-long 6-game win streak for him right now. And they are playing some good basketball, so you absolutely love to see that. So we'll see if they can let the good times roll here against the Portland Trail Blazers coming up on Monday. But, Jamal tonight doing his thing, 30 points from Maul, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. You like to see that. 6 of 9 from three-point land, 12 of 23 from the field. Really not much to complain about with Jamal Murray tonight. I mean, he had a great game, and he's really played really good basketball since the calendar turn of 2025, which has been absolutely critical in the overall trajectory of this season. I mean, if Jamal Murray can continue to play at the level in which he's been playing, Denver might just be able to go on a run this spring, folks. I mean, that's how good Jamal Murray takes this team to another level when he's doing his thing. So we'll see if he can keep it up. And then, Nikola Jokic, just another night at the office for Big Honey. 26 points tonight, 11 rebounds, 9 assists. I mean, what more is there to say, folks? 11 of 13 from the field. He missed one shot in the first half of this game, and it was the shot right before the buzzer, which was a half-court attempt. So Jokic is dialed in. Murray's dialed in. The fellas are feeling good. They're streaking right now. The good times are rolling for the Denver Nuggets. Aaron Gordon, we didn't really mention him tonight. 24 minutes for AG. Only 9 points. He did hit a three-point shot. But he made his impact tonight on the glass, 10 rebounds tonight for AG. So you like to see that. I mean, really, like looking at just the team stats, even from the game tonight, I mean, Denver just cleaned up. I gave you the field goal and the three-point percentage earlier in the program. They shot 94% tonight from the free throw line, 56 rebounds to Phoenix's 43. They had 28 assists to Phoenix's 25. The only thing that Phoenix was better at was not turning the ball over. 10 turnovers tonight for Denver. But they had 20 fast break points to Phoenix's 8. 54 points in the paint to Phoenix's 36. I mean, like I said, just a lot to like from how Denver played tonight. And, Devin Booker can't do it all. They did a good job of limiting, most of this Phoenix offense. Booker tonight, 24 points, 3 of 8 from 3, right? So you expect him to kind of get his, right? But everybody else, for the most part, not much. Royce O'Neal with only 9 points. He was a minus 20 in the box plus minus. Nick Richards with a 5. Tyus Jones with 15. They were minus 14 and minus 15 in the box plus minus, respectively. Bol, old pal, 19 points off the bench. That's fun for the theatrics, but didn't really make an impact in this game in regards to trying to get Phoenix back into it. So all in all, a nice, clean, fun game tonight for the Denver Nuggets as they get the job done over the Phoenix Suns 122-105. So love to see it. Couple of closing thoughts here real quick on the trade deadline. Denver stands pat. And I know there were some of these takes going around on social media that, the 3 second-round picks, I think it was, that they gave up to Reggie Jackson, or to dump Reggie Jackson's salary, rather, that probably hindered Denver's ability to make some trades because second-round picks are so valuable when it kind of comes to getting some of these deals over the finish line, and Denver just doesn't have any that they're able to deal right now. So I'm not surprised. The Luka Doncic trade kind of sent everybody for a whirl. The Dalton Connect trade to Charlotte that would have got the Mark Williams was now called off tonight, so that hurts the Lakers a little bit. You've got Anthony Davis now in Dallas. Jimmy Butler traded to the Warriors, right? So it just didn't seem like there was a real trade out there for Denver to make. And frankly, if Denver wanted to make a splash, they were going to have to trade Michael Porter Jr., which is just something that they were probably never going to do unless they felt in their heart of hearts that they were winning the deal regardless of what happened. But I can't complain about it. They're playing good basketball. Jokic is still the best player in the world. Jamal Murray's playing well. Aaron Gordon's healthy. MPJ's coming to life. You might as well run it back with this core. With the addition of Russell Westbrook, you get some contributions from Strother and Peyton Watson, and just kind of see how this season plays out. It's virtually the same starting 5 that won you a championship a few years ago. Christian Brown played meaningful minutes in that season as well. So Denver is cool, calm, collected, and comfortable with where they're at roster complexion-wise. So we'll see how this season finishes up, but no moves at all for Denver at the trade deadline. And, they're winning right now. 6 games in a row. MPJ's playing well. So we'll see how the rest of this year plays out. But 122-105, your final score here tonight. That is going to do it for me tonight, folks, on your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Really appreciate y'all, as always, for tapping into the show. If you could do me a favor on your way out on YouTube, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button on your Locked On Sports Denver YouTube channel. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast. You can also follow me on social media at Media by AP. Good win, 6 in a row, 122-105. Denver takes care of business against the Phoenix Suns. Enjoy your Saturday night. Enjoy the big game tomorrow. Talk to you guys on Monday.